Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Susie.
And you're watching this week's edition of Mojo.
We have loads coming up on the show for you today. We will be reviewing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and also we'll be chatting to Emer Loughrey from the Halo Project in Kildare, which is a drug rehabilitation programme.
At the start of the week, I popped into the Riverbank Theatre in Newbridge to chat to comedian Jarlath Regan. Here's how we got on. I heard a funny man, Jarlath Regan, in Riverbank where he's doing a show tonight. So, how are you getting on? Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm not too bad. I am enjoying myself.
Are you all prepared for the show?
Yeah. Well, Newbridge is always going to be a tricky enough one because it's where I grew up, where I went to school.
Where are you from, Newbridge?
Yeah, no, I went to Patrician Brothers for all my secondary school and played basketball there.
All the old girlfriends will be in the audience.
Yeah, all the old girlfriends. Yeah, no, there wasn't too many of them. But it's always weird coming back. But I've been back a couple of times now. I think this is my third time doing a show here. But this is only my second time doing my own one. So,
and do you find yourself getting heckled when you come back to the hometown?
Surprisingly not. Maybe in time that will happen. But I think I'm still at the stage where they're still like, fair play to you, rather than, who does this lad think he is, So I don't know, there probably is an undercurrent to that.
Very good.
But people have been really supportive here, to be honest.
And you've been busy the last few years because you went from being a graphic designer to being a comedian. How did you make that jump? Like, what made you change?
Fired.
You got fired? Yeah. What did you do?
Yeah, well, I never
telling
really
jokes
into
by the water cooler.
Yeah, well, I was probably really annoying them with that kind of thing because I was gigging while I was in work. Not in
while
I was in work.
Charging people
always
as they come
on,
in to be best.
always zinging people. Yeah, no, I was doing a lot of it because I just loved doing it. Ardlo Hanlon was the first person to really get behind me and support me on things. He let me support him, and it's a pretty tightly knit community. Yeah. And when they like what you're doing, they do get behind you. So I supported a lot of guys like Des and Jason Byrne and BJ Gallagher and David O'Doherty and these people, and just one thing led to another.
It's like a big learning curve, really, kind of going up before these people, that kind of thing.
Well, it's definitely really hard to go on before. So I have a guy, Conor McKenna, who's supporting me tonight. It's so hard to go into a cold room. You walk out and it's a different type of applause.
It's like the warm-up band almost, isn't it?
It is the warm-up band.
No one's there to see them, unfortunately.
Nobody's there to see them, but they are there to judge them. In a weird kind of way. They want to pass a judgment on this guy. I haven't paid to see him. Why is he here? So you're uphill from there. But the support is such a great way to learn the thing. Like you say, it is a learning curve.
You've got another book on the way, I believe.
Another book on the way. It's called Putting a Ring on It, How Not to Get Married. And it's about my experience getting married in October and things not to do in the process. Because
is your wife okay with you writing all this stuff?
100%, because she bought like hundreds of books preparing to get married, like loads of books. Like she'd come home every day with a stack.
All the wedding etiquette books and stuff
like that.
Yeah.
And I know other husbands were in that moment going, you buy one more book and I swear to God, I'm going to lose it. And that's the moment that you come home with my book and you read that one.
Tell us about the Rumour Room. You're working away on that at the moment with RTE.
The Rumour Room is young people's television. It's on at 5 o'clock every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and me and a bunch of other people host it. It's I suppose it's a new departure for me because I've never really done young people's stuff, but it's only in recent years that I've kind of enjoyed. There's something pretty pure about entertaining young people. And one of my favourite gigs ever was I played Santa Claus for my wife's Montessori school, and I mean those kids, like, they are the toughest and the best crowd ever, because if you get a laugh from kids, they don't have a fake laugh. They're telling you, this is it, this is me laughing now. And if they don't like it, they'll tell you straight off the bat, why are you talking to me like this? So
why's your beard hanging off?
No, but I've loved it so far, and it's going into a new direction now, and I'm really excited about it.
Very good. Well, cheers. Thanks very much for talking to us. Really appreciate it, and good luck with tonight. While I was off interviewing Jarlath last week, you were off watching Harry Potter.
I was.
How'd it go?
Well, there's a lot to be said about the movie. There's a lot of Potterheads out there that are
me included,
that might be feeling a little bit disappointed about the movie because as it's common knowledge at the moment that it's part 1 of 2 of the final instalment of the franchise. And there's been a lot said that there's a lot of filler in the movie. It opens up to a very powerful scene where our three main characters are kind of leaving life as they know it behind and kind of looking towards a very grim future, you know, that so that's kind of the opening scene where you see Hermione and she's erasing her parents' memory.
Yeah, it's a very poignant scene, that scene.
Yeah, it's a very kind of disturbing scene, you know, so, and that's where the movie takes off. Now, unfortunately, after that, there is, I'd have to agree, quite a lot of filler in it. You know, I think they could have, the movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes long.
Could it be shorter, do you
think?
A
I
lot
think
of people are saying that.
Yeah, they probably could have condensed it to about 2 hours. Now, I think it's kind of a guilty little pleasure that, you know, we still have another movie to come. So, in that sense, I wouldn't say that that's a bad quality to it, but at the same time, definitely they could have shortened it.
Did you feel that because this movie, there's none of the big caster around the three leads anymore, they're off out of Hogwarts by themselves, do you think they dealt with that well?
Well, I have to say that Hermione was just fantastic. Emma Watson, she was incredible. She, I've never seen such a young actress that she can show more emotion on her face with a blank face than any other actress. Than any actress I've ever seen. And then of course Ron, who's Rupert Grint, he kind of has the comedy aspect to the film, which lightens it a lot because it is a very dark film. You know, it's much darker than the other movies. And
did you think they ended the movie well? Because when it ended, I was like, okay, done.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting the ending at all. It was very abrupt.
Yeah.
Very abrupt. I mean, I think while there wasn't a lot, as I said, there was a lot of filler in the movie, they kind of pushed things on too quickly. I mean, there's a couple of important deaths of important characters. In the movie, and it's kind of like a sniff and then next scene.
Yeah, it is very abrupt. There's a lot of things about it.
Big time. And I think that was kind of a negative aspect of the movie, but at the same time, overall,
maybe on the DVD we'll get the extra scenes.
You never know.
What do you think of it overall? What kind of would you give it in stars?
I would say 7 or an 8, but I'm a Harry Potter head.
That's
so
still high. That's good.
That's a good mark. Yeah.
Tell me where he is.
Our world has faced no greater threat than it does today. But you can't fight this war on your own, Mr. Potter. He's too strong.
We have infiltrated the ministry.
You have nothing to fear if you have nothing to hide.
The longer we stay here, the stronger he gets.
I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
We need to get off the streets, get somewhere safe.
Let's say we get under cover before someone murders him.
That way they won't know which Harry Potter is the real one.
They are coming. They are coming.
Hang on, Harry!
Nobody else is going to die. Not for me. We have to do something. You think I don't know how this feels?
You don't know how it feels! Your parents are dead! You have no family!
He's after you, Mr. Potter.
Tell me where he is.
You really don't stand a chance.
I got him!
Help me!
I have seen your heart, and it is mine.
We're joined with Emer from the Halo Project in Naas. Emer, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a bit about the project.
The Halo Project is a new project for the Kildare West Wicklow area. We work with young people under 18 years of age, anybody that's living in Kildare West Wicklow, so that's anything down as far as Athy, right across to the far corners of Blessington. We're based in Naas, and basically we work with any young person who feels they would like some support with their substance misuse. So that's any drug ranging from alcohol right across the spectrum to cocaine, heroin, etc.
And how did it all begin? Because it's a new kind of idea for people to be able to approach you and with the families, I presume, that they would go in and they'd kind of have this network that doesn't involve the police, doesn't involve teachers or anything like that. So it seems quite new. How did it come about?
The Southwestern Regional Drugs Task Force initiated a plan which really looked at developing an under-18s project that specifically catered for young people with a substance misuse issue. Because it requires a kind of specific kind of skill set, it was very important that they developed a project with staff who really kind of knew kind of how to work with this actual concern, really.
And when people come in, what do they expect? What's the kind of, what way will they be greeted? Not greeted, but what they expect when they come into Halo?
What we hope to deliver in Halo is when a young person and their family arrive with us, we try and keep it as relaxed as we possibly can. They come in, we have a cup of tea, and we introduce ourselves, so that myself and one of my colleagues will be introduced to the family. We have a chat about kind of what Halo is actually about, trying to give them an idea of kind of what way it would work. So, you know, a bit of an understanding of, let's say, one-to-one work, family work. A kind of an idea of kind of like if they want to opt in and out of things, they certainly can. And if somebody's kind of a bit kind of nervous in the beginning, what we kind of say is, listen, you know, if you want to just commit to 1 or 2 sessions, that's okay, to have it think about whether you really want to do this work or not.
So it's really kind of gentle approach.
Very gentle, absolutely. I mean, this is such a huge decision for someone to make, and you know, it's really important that we respect that person's space. And
what's the big issue at the moment? Is it drink? Is it drugs? Is it, you know, is it?
It's kind of a combination. Alcohol and cannabis / weed are the key kind of main issues that we're dealing with at the moment. So they're the main kind of. And
do you think the big issue is people aren't being informed enough? Because you're obviously now informing people that have the issue. Do you think people should be informed before? Is that?
I'm not sure if it's about informed. I think sometimes it's about the support that the young person and the family actually have, and having an outlet where they can go. I suppose some people that come to our project, they arrive with a problem, but a lot of the time they leave with no problems in terms of substance misuse. So sometimes it's just about a bit of direction and guidance as to how do I kind of kick this habit? How do I, you know, what skills do I need to kind of brush up on to be able to manage this? And sometimes just having a chat to somebody about what's really worrying you is kind of gets you halfway there, you know, that kind of way.
And you do an assessment when the person arrives. What does the assessment involve? An
assessment, well, I suppose after we kind of introduce ourselves to everybody, and if they're kind of saying that they're interested, what we do is an assessment is basically like a kind of a simple questionnaire which gives the young person a bit of an idea of some of the issues, or gives them an idea of how their substance use is affecting different aspects of their life. So that's everything from their family, their relationships with their friends, how it's affecting their school, maybe if they're in work, how that's been affected, and their mental health. So what we do is we kind of compile that information, and it's a little bit like a mirror, I suppose. In terms of substance misuse, at times you kind of might try and bury your head a little bit around the reality of kind of the damage it's causing. So this is kind of like a very gentle mirror back as to, you know, this is now the picture. I don't know if you kind of saw it like this, and what do you think now? Do you think it's something that you kind of want to address? So for example, if let's say their peer kind of influence is a big kind of concern for them, and it's very connected with their substance misuse, that becomes one of the key areas that we work with in sessions with the young person's permission. Everything that we do is based on what the young person wants. And we might give ideas and recommendations, but they're the ones that has to decide that they actually want to do this. Because they're the ones that are going to have to actually do the work in the long run.
All right, Emer, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us.
It's been great.
And the details for Halo are up on the screen.
The main thing I really want any of the young people that are watching this today to remember is that we are a completely confidential service. This information does not go outside the room of Halo. And in fact, if you would prefer that we don't share too much of the information with your family, that's okay too. And the most important thing is you need to get in. If you need support, get into us.
Thanks a million for watching this week's show.
And I just can't wait.